Today I'm going to tell you about the 2005 movie Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Charlie Bucket was an ordinary kid, but he was different from the rest. His family was very poor. His dad worked in a toothpaste factory. He earned very little, so they had to save money on everything, even food. Once upon a time, Charlie's grandfather, whose name was Joe, worked at Willy Wonka's chocolate factory, which was in their town. At that time there were a lot of workers in the factory, but the time came when the workers started stealing recipes for sweets and selling them to the competitor. Wonka didn't like it, so he decided to close the factory. A few weeks ago people saw the factory running again, but no one guessed who was working there, as no one went in or out. Grandpa Joe told his grandson that Wonka started out as a small store and then grew to an entire factory. Willy Wonka was very famous for his sweets, and at one time he was even invited to India to build a whole chocolate palace. He warned the customer to eat it quickly, but he didn't listen and the chocolate palace melted. Charlie realized that Wonka was unique, and Grandpa Joe wanted to visit the factory again. The same night, people left the factory who posted ads on poles throughout the city. In the morning people learned that Wonka would invite 5 lucky people to his factory. To get to him it was necessary to find a golden ticket hidden in a bar of chocolate, and one of the 5 children will receive a special award. Willie was silent about it. It was as if the world was in chaos. Everyone started buying up Willy Wonka's chocolate bars. Grandpa Joe dreamed that his grandson would find a golden ticket and a bar of chocolate, but there was one problem. Charlie was given chocolate only once a year on his birthday, which was a few days away. The first golden ticket is found by a boy named August Gloop. He had a good chance to find the golden ticket because he ate a lot of chocolate, but he almost ate the golden ticket. He just didn't notice it when he started eating another bar of chocolate. The second ticket was found by Veruca Salt, or rather the workers of her father's nut factory. Veruca is used to getting everything since childhood, and because of this her father ordered his factory workers to open Willy Wonka's chocolate. Charlie's parents came back from the store and brought him a bar of chocolate they wanted for his birthday. Charlie was hoping to find a golden ticket there, but it didn't happen. But that didn't upset him. He took and shared the bar of chocolate among his whole family, and they enjoyed its great taste together. On the third day a golden ticket was found by a girl named Violetta Beauregard. She is obsessed with winning and always used to achieve her goals. She has many awards which her mother is very proud of. Violetta is sure that she will take the very prize. The fourth golden ticket was found by a boy obsessed with games Mike TV. Figuring out where the golden ticket was supposed to be, went to the store, bought a tile and found it. Soon Charlie's father was fired. Because of the Willy Wonka promotion people started to eat too much chocolate and consequently consume a lot of toothpaste. The company where Charlie's father worked was able to buy a robot for screwing caps, so the plant was downsized and the family had even less money. Grandpa Joe still hopes to find the last golden ticket. He gives his grandson his savings and tells him to buy a bar of chocolate. Returning home together they open it, but there is no golden ticket. A few days later, Charlie learns that the last golden ticket has been found. Upset, he walks down the street and finds money on the sidewalk in the snow. Going into the store he learns that the last golden ticket was a fake. But the found money, Charlie buys a bar of chocolate, opens it, and inside is a golden ticket. Very happy, Charlie runs home to tell his family the great news. Already at home he learns the rules of visiting the chocolate factory. He can take one person with him as an accompaniment. Charlie decided to take Grandpa Joe with him, which makes him dance for joy. On the appointed day, the lucky guys that found the golden ticket and their escorts are standing near the entrance to the factory. Willy Wonka lets them into the territory and the fire puppet show begins, after which he appears in person and invites everyone to go inside the factory. The first room they are shown where absolutely everything is edible. Here Willy Wonka introduces the visitors to the Oompa Loompas that he met in an exotic country. These little people are very fond of cocoa beans and even worship them, but they are almost non-existent in their country, so Willy suggests them to work at his factory and give him cocoa beans in return. While Wonka was talking about the factory workers, August foolishly ate from the chocolate river and then fell into it. At the same time a chocolate fence pipe descended into the river and sucked the guy into the pipe. Willy asks his employee to take August's mother to the fondant shop and give her the baby while he is still alive. Finished with August, Willy invited the remaining guests on the boat and they began to sail on the chocolate river. He showed them many different rooms where sweets are made. Stopping at the experimental lab, Willy Wonka began to talk about the gum in which he combined 3-course meals. Violetta immediately began to try one of these gummies. She was surprised how Wonka managed to convey the exact taste of the dishes. Everything was fine until she got to the blueberry dessert, although Willy Wonka warned her, but Violetta didn't listen to him. She began to bloat and turned purple. Willy wasn't too upset since this has happened before with the Oompa Loompas. He ordered Violetta to be rolled back and siphoned off her juice to bring her back to normal, and he led the guests on. Next on the list of victims was Veruca. When they entered the shell cleaning shop where only squirrels worked, Veruca asked that her father buy her one squirrel, but Willy Wonka said that squirrels are not for sale. The girl wasn't used to being refused and went to get one herself. The squirrels didn't like it. They jumped on her. After checking her head like a nut, they came to the conclusion that the nut was spoiled and threw her in the garbage chute, and then her father. Willy Wonka laughed and took the remaining guests to another room where they tested moving chocolate through the TV. Wonka demonstrated how a bar of chocolate moved into the TV. Mike wanted to be in the place of the bar, jumped into the teleporter, but did not take into account the fact that objects after moving becomes very small. They took it out and sent it to the pulling shop to get it back to its normal size. After a few minutes, Willy Wonka realized that Charlie was the last of the remaining guests. He was a little upset because there was no one else to torment, although he was also glad because there was a winner. They all got into an elevator. Wonka launched it into the sky and spun it on Charlie's house. He told them that he had recently found a gray hair and realized that he didn't have long to live, for about 40 or 50 years, and that he needed an heir who would run his factory after his death. He came up with all this gold ticket action just to find a worthy winner. Now Charlie has to move into the factory, but he is forbidden to take his parents. Such are Willy Wonka's conditions. He generally does not like his parents. He remembers how strict his father Wilbur Wonka was. He worked as a dentist, was very strict to Willy and forbade him to eat chocolate. Yet somehow Willy tasted the candy, he really liked it, and realized that he could not live without them. He left home and had a dream to open his own chocolate factory. Charlie is not like that. He cannot say goodbye to his parents and refuses the Wonka. After a couple of days, Charlie's father finds a new job. He will be repairing the robot they replaced him with. Meanwhile, Willy Wonka doesn't understand how he can trade his jobless life in a candy factory for his family. The owner of the factory comes to Charlie with help. He wants to visit his father to deal with the past, and this should help him regain inspiration. Coming to Wilbur Wonka, Charlie realizes that he has been watching his son for his success all along. He examines Willy's perfect teeth and realizes he was wrong when he said chocolate was unhealthy. Father and son made up. Willy offered Charlie a job at the factory, but this time he didn't have to part with his family. Charlie said yes. Later, Willy began to visit Charlie and his family often for dinner because he got into the family spirit.